Welcome back to ET Media and Entertainment Summit 2026. I'm joined by Protiti from GSK, who has just come off stage after a wonderful conversation. Welcome, Protiti.
Thank you.
Would love to know what is one key takeaway from your conversation with your co-panelists, with the moderator, that you would like to share with our digital native audiences.
I think first of all, we had a very interesting panel discussion with, so much of variety, but yet a very unification of insights. There's not one, but I think two, three very important things that we spoke about. I think one was about micro targeting that, with the next 400 million, which is a very different audience from, what we have seen conventionally. How do you really appeal to them? How do you really build your brand to them? How do you really ensure that, they have trust in the brand? How do they really value? So micro targeting becomes the key there, that how do you appeal to them. Second thing I think we discussed a lot was about content, that how do you ensure that the content is relevant to the wide audience that we are catering to. What is the format that we should be approaching them with? What is that they are really interested in? And a lot of these audience are digital first, they're technology savvy, so what is that will really work from them. And I think third, last but not the least, we also spoke about first party data, that how are organizations ensuring that they are future proofing themselves, they are building first party data which helps them and it enables them personalization at scale. So how do you, so there is CRM, there is technology, there is a lot of social listening that organizations are investing in, and this is all to get data into one place. So unification of data is happening so that we can be better with addressing the needs of the customer. And I think last but not the least, we also discussed about how technology and AI kind of enables all the customer engagement strategy that we do.
Absolutely. In going into 2026, in terms of media investments, what really excites you? What do the first party data signals tell you in terms of media deployment, and what does it add to your marketing mix?
I think again, going by data, and because I spoke about technology as well, that the customers are demanding more, right? And therefore, to meet their ever evolving need, right, we also need to tweak our media strategy. Now, how do you do it? Because you also have to do it at scale. You have to do it for all the 400 millions and more to come. And you have Gen Zs, you have multiple other segments to kind of cater for. So how do you really ensure that you have technology, you have AI, you have machine learning to kind of help you churn out data which is much more insight driven, which is much more personalized, and eventually kind of appealing to the customers who are going to be the either the end customers or the purchaser of the product, or they're going to influence the community in some way or the other.
Fascinating. How do you measure it though? Would love to know how is the measurement matrix evolving
Yeah.
to help you understand that content is actually driven influence and not just reach and exposure, so to say.
Yeah, so no, that's a very good question. And usually, like in my framework, I use two things. One is your lead indicators and one is your lag indicators, right? So your lead indicators can be, your typically like, your digital engagement KPIs. Like when you're doing an email, it can be open rate, it can be CTOR. When it's a web, it can be number of people who are visiting, number of purchases, etc. you're making. And then the lag indicators which come, that what has been, for example, in healthcare, what has been your prescription uplift, right? What does brand loyalty look like? What is your customer life value, right? What is your retention? What is your cost per acquisition of the customer, right? What is your consent level? What is the trust level? What is the NPS? What is the feedback that you're receiving from customers through the various listening activities you are done? So lead and lag indicators both are going to play an extremely crucial role. And I think as we are evolving, the success metrics also needs to evolve, right? Your KPIs need to evolve because every 3 months you have a new technology coming in. Every 3 months there is some change, that might just come, be it from an external environment perspective or regulation perspective. So you need to be abreast, and then just keep need and then you need to keep your operating model also very agile, and your success metrics agile, so that you can eventually cater to the customers.
Fantastic. Micro targeting, lead and lag
Lot of
indicators. The work is cut out for marketers, but it was wonderful to speaking to
Yeah.
you. Thank you so
Thank you.
much.
Thank you.